Welcome back to Cox Connections, exclusively on Cox 9. I'm Jeff Merritt. Founded in 2009, Leap for Local Food exists to build stronger communities through sustainable agriculture. Leap strives to make healthy, local food more accessible to everyone in the greater Roanoke Valley. Brittany-DeKnight and Maureen-McNamara-Best join me now to talk about Leap and the mobile market it just launched in June. Welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so let's start off. Tell me a little bit about Leap for Local Food. What is Leap for Local Food?
So Leap is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are based in Roanoke. We work out of the CoLab in Grandin Village, and we run a number of programs. We started first just with the Grandin Village Community Market, which is every Saturday, April through October from 8 to noon. Mm-hmm. And then from there we expanded and created another market in the West End neighborhood of Food Desert to increase access. Mm-hmm. And both these markets are really to help increase food access and also support small-scale local farmers. So all of our farmers are from 100 miles of Roanoke. So all the food that's sold at our markets are at 100 miles from Roanoke, with the exception of coffee and seafood.
Of course.
And so Leap is very. It was a volunteer effort initially, and then over time we've formalized a little bit more. And so we are working on launching a couple of new projects. We've gotten a lot of grants to expand our staff, our capacity, and to really continue to meet the needs of the community, both food producers and consumers. So essentially everybody.
That's fantastic, and I love the fact that it's very local. I mean, you say a 100-mile radius. Mm-hmm. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. Now, one of the things that you all have just recently launched is the mobile market. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Brittany, can you tell me a little bit about the mobile market?
Yeah, so the mobile market was basically born out of this idea that after we had launched our two fixed site markets, we really wanted to increase food access across the city. There are so many neighborhoods in Roanoke that don't have access to grocery stores, where it's really difficult for folks who don't have a car or who have other transportation challenges to be able to get somewhere that sells fresh fruits and vegetables. Mm-hmm. If you're on the bus, then you might be going to the store once a month, and you're not going to be able to buy a lot of perishable fresh fruits and vegetables. Right. So we were really wanting to focus on expanding this market concept to other neighborhoods, but setting up a fixed site market is incredibly expensive on our end, but also really time consuming for the farmers who are having to pick and harvest and then drive in, set up a table for 2 to 3 hours to 4 hours, and sell their produce. And so the solution that we came to was really to start a mobile market. So we are acting as a food aggregator. We are working with our vendors at our other markets. We're sourcing food from them on a wholesale basis, and then we are putting it on a truck. Envision an ice cream truck that sells fresh fruits and vegetables instead of ice cream. Okay. And we are taking it out to neighborhoods that need it throughout the city. So we've been doing this for about 6 weeks now, and it's been an amazing success. We've got 5 stops throughout the city, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, mostly in Southeast and Northwest. And the neighborhoods that we're in have really responded incredibly well to this. I think people are really happy to have these fresh fruits and vegetables available in their neighborhoods, and really, are coming back every week and doing their weekly grocery shopping.
That's fantastic. Now, I know you certainly address the entire community, but lower income communities in particular are part of this mobile market that you're targeting, and you have a special program tied to folks who might receive food stamps or on SNAP, right?
Yeah, so at all of our markets, including the mobile market stops, thanks to a grant from Carillion and also a federal Finney grant, we are able to double food stamp or SNAP EBT up to $30 per market per customer. So if someone comes in, they spend $20 on their EBT card, they get $40 in tokens that they then go directly to farmers, and they can buy any SNAP eligible items. So we have fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, meat, egg, cheese, bread. Those are all SNAP eligible, and they're all available at our market. So it's kind of getting half price at everything.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. And so how does this work when they get there? They check in with you and they get some kind of a token?
So they would go to the farmers market manager tent, or at the mobile market, the Sam, who runs our markets. He's the guy.
Okay.
At West End is T, and then at Grandin it's Sam. But just go and you swipe your card at the manager tent, and then we have wooden nickels that are worth $1 each.
Okay.
So then they would get, if they swipe 20, they would get 40 wooden nickels to spend.
Okay.
And then the vendors turn them into us, and we reimburse the vendors. So we're just kind of the go-between, so that each vendor doesn't have to have their own snap machine, because it's pretty labor intensive at times to handle the back end of that.
Very good, very good. Now, I know you have something exciting coming with the community kitchen. Tell me a little bit about the community kitchen.
So we have been planning to build a community kitchen that will be a food business incubator in the West End. We're working with the West End Center for Youth, who owns the property, and we would be co-tenants with Freedom First Credit Union. So Freedom First new branch in West End, there's one unfinished room in the back, and that's also where we have our year-round West End community market. So we're working on a tenant build-out of that space. We got a USDA planning grant through local food promotion program, and so we have all the engineering, all the architectural, the building permit, everything's in hand, and we got a $100,000 grant from Roanoke Women's Foundation last year to build out the space. But as with any project, especially construction related, the costs are more than what we initially budgeted for. So we're still working to try and secure the additional funds through sponsorships and hopefully some additional support through the USDA and hopefully the City of Roanoke. So we're in conversation to try and figure out how to close this funding gap to be able to really move this program forward. Everyone's really excited about it. It's been in the works for a number of years, and it's been a very successful model in other cities across the United States to really incubate food businesses and then also have a great teaching space for other community groups like the Virginia Cooperative Extension Family Nutrition Program and their countless cooking education classes that they offer.
Gotcha. Okay. Great. That sounds amazing. And so as we wrap up, you're still seeking funding on this. I imagine folks can go to your website too.
Yeah. So you can donate directly, or we are also looking for sponsorships. So naming rights for the kitchen. We'll have three smaller kitchens within the space. So naming rights, any type of sponsorship, just individual donations, any of that is great. And one thing that's good about the kitchen is that once we get started, we'll have income to support ourselves. It's just those the initial construction costs are really high.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you coming in and sharing LEAP and telling us about it.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
To learn more about LEAP for Local Food, you can visit them online at leapforlocalfood.org. More Cox Connections coming up. Stay tuned.